Hey everybody, it's PJ from Wisconsin Air Gunners. We've got a lot of fun in this air gun on the bench today, and it's something a little bit special I'll tell you about in just a few minutes. This is the LCS SK-19, but underneath the tensioned carbon fiber shroud is an FX SmoothTwist barrel. Stay tuned. How much fun is that? It's all the fun. That's how much that is. Full disclosure time. This gun is being brought to market by my employer, DonnyFL. It's currently available for a limited time. That means there are a limited number of rifles in 30, 25, and 22 caliber. When they're gone, as far as we're concerned, they're gone. We are not selling the barrels separate. So if you currently have an LCS SK-19, unfortunately, we're not able to just sell you the barrel. We bought these as they are with that converted barrel. So if you want one, you'll have to go through this route. But, and here's the but. First part for YouTube. I am on a closed range firing an air gun, not a firearm, in a safe direction with a backstop and all safety protocols being followed. Second, for everybody else, while I do work for DonnyFL and Saber Tactical and PCP Kong, the opinions in my videos are my own, and you're getting the benefit of my working at a super cool place in that I get to tell you about some really cool stuff that you might not otherwise hear about. So let's get to the review. So you may or may not be familiar with the LCS SK-19. It is a semi-automatic and fully automatic pre-charged pneumatic air gun. It has a non-removable cylinder at the back. That's where you load the pellets. And the pellets are fired directly from the cylinder, which matters to some people in some places. As I said before, the only thing different from every other LCS SK-19 on the planet is that this one's had a transfer port machined so that it can accommodate an FX SmoothTwist barrel, and that is housed within this carbon fiber tensioned shroud system. I'm using an FX moderator on it today. The model that we have for sale does come with a moderator as well, so you can check that out on the DonnyFL website. The SK-19 has a regulator that is adjustable, but nobody I know recommends that you adjust it. Air Guns of Arizona has a really good kind of walkthrough on the rifle, and even they kind of recommend that you don't mess with it. There is, however, underneath here a power adjuster, and this really gives you pretty good range. Like I said, this one's in 30 cal. I'm shooting JSB 44 grain pellets. I've had these up over 1,000 feet per second, and I've had them down below 800 feet per second. So this is a meaningful adjuster. It's going to give you a lot of range so that you can tune it in for what you need to do. And there's plenty of power to shoot the heavier 50 grain JSBs. Now, you can change the liner because it's an FX barrel system mounted on here, which means you could get their superior slug liner and possibly shoot slugs. That's beyond what I'm testing today. But I think it does open the door to that. I'm not sure how the slugs would behave in this magazine system, I suspect they'd be okay, but I haven't tested it, and I won't say that I did if I haven't done it. So let's start at the back, kind of walk you through the rifle. You have a pretty plain Jane butt pad back here. It is functional, if not adjustable. Does an okay job. It's got a kind of a soft touch. I don't know if it's all rubber or rubber coating something, but it gets the job done. In front of that, you have your selector switch that goes from safe to semi to full auto, and then rocket back. Above here, you have your regulator pressure gauge, and then this swing arm comes up so that you can load the magazine, and more on that later. Moving forward, you have one of the things that I would maybe mark the rifle down for on the fit and finish. The barrel on the LCS is larger in diameter, and so these two pieces, which are kind of plastic, are made for that barrel, and they do have just a little, they fit and stay, but they do have just a little bit of wobble because they were designed for something that was just physically bigger around, and so they don't snap in as tight as they would have on the original build. Here you have a second safety. So this is an AR style safety, just a flip lever, and this one is just safe and fire. So if you're out in the field and you know you're shooting semi-auto, you can put this one on semi, leave this one on safe. When it's time to shoot, dial that down and take your shot, and then back to safe, and the rifle won't fire. When you're putting it away, you put this back one on safe, or if you're going cold on the range, put this one on safe, this one on safe. You've got two different safety mechanisms. In front of that, you have your tank pressure. This is a 250 bar fill. You do not want to let your tank pressure get below your regulator pressure. It is possible that if you shoot down too far, you'll get a situation where you have a pellet that's able to move into the breech, but not able to clear fully. And that's a mess to clean up, involves removing the barrel. You don't want to take part in that. So keep it above reg pressure. Now your shots per fill are going to vary greatly depending on how you tune the gun and what caliber you have. As I've said, 30 cal. When I had this shooting in the 960 to 980 range, I was getting about one magazine, especially if I was using the full auto. I have it set now around, where am I? Well, let's put that shot string up. So closer to the middle 800s, I can actually get 3 magazines or 3 loads. And in 30 cal, this is 17 rounds that load in here. The magazine is not removable. So it stays there and rotates around, but you're not taking it out. So higher power level, higher velocity means fewer shots per fill. That's a pretty straightforward equation. If you tune it down a little bit, and honestly, that's where I was getting the best accuracy, around that 860, 850 range, then you're going to get more shots. It has a Foster fill here, carbon fiber air tank, Picatinny rail on the bottom. It takes an AR style grip. I'm using a Saber Tactical vertical grip today. Your trigger is decent. It is not adjustable. Let's take a look at that trigger pull weight now. Semi-automatic airgun triggers are not known for really being the best. This is pretty close to the best one I've ever used. So put that in semi and that in fire. That's 14 ounces. 1 pound 4 ounces. 1 pound 2 ounces. So somewhere right around 1 pound 1 ounce. For a semi-automatic airgun, that's pretty good. Definitely a gun you could shoot all day, assuming you have the lead and the air to fill it. On the other side of the rifle, there really isn't too much to talk about except this lever right here. When you flip lever that we showed you on the other side, then you can open this up, and that's where you put the magazines in, and we'll show you how that works out. I've got an Element Optics 6-24 Helix up top. Good match for this gun. And I've got the FX branded DonnyFL moderator out front. But you're not here to see me or listen to me talk about that. You're here to see some shooting. So let's get the camera downrange and let's put some holes in some targets. I've got a target downrange at 32 yards. The camera downrange is recording. So let's see how she does. We're gonna go into semi-automatic mode, hit the safety, and here we go. Not bad. And boy, I do a ton of shooting with side lever action rifles. Kind of nice where you can just keep looking through the scope and not have to break that cheek weld at all to take the next shot. You've seen the trigger weight, and this is honestly the best trigger I've ever shot on a semi-automatic air rifle, especially in terms of how it's really not very heavy. I mean, certainly less than, I think it was less than 1.5 pounds. So that's pretty nice. It's a little bit on the long side. Not like ridiculously long, but I find myself, come on, come on, come on, and then it kind of rolls through. Not like what I would consider like match grade or anything like that. Well, I've been working with this rifle for a couple of days, and to be honest, that was a really good group. I'm glad I was able to showcase for you what this rifle is capable of. And whether you mount an optic like the Helix or throw a red dot on, this gun is really set up for a lot of fun. So I've got my action camera downrange recording. We're going to run a magazine in full auto. And probably if you're looking at this rifle, this is why you want to pick it up. So you've got to switch the back lever forward and then the front safety down. How much fun is that? Boy, had I had access to something like this when I was maybe in middle school, boy, just the rifle pretty much every kid dreams of. If you do decide to pick one of these up, make sure you're making friends with somebody, whether it's at the pellet shop or Pyramid Air or Utah Air Guns or Southern Precision or Alamo Air Guns, whoever you are in most favored nation status with, call them up and see about a bulk discount, because you're going to be running through a lot of pellets, and make sure you have a solid air source sorted out, because you're going to be running through a lot of air. Like I said, if you're going semi-auto on a reasonable tune, you know, in that middle 800 range, you're going to get about 3 magazines on semi. 1 or 2 at that velocity on full auto. The loading process is really easy. It's not super fast, but easy. The first step is to bring that arm up. And we're going to go over here to the other side and lift that up. Take your pellets, and they feed one at a time into the cylinder. Whoa, don't drop them. And then rotate and feed. Kind of like an old school single action revolver. You just don't have to eject the spent cartridges. Like I said earlier, 30 cal, you get 17 shots. Once you're full, put that gate down and flip that lever down, and you're ready to go. Some semi-automatic fun. All right, that's fun, but we can have more fun than that. Here we go, 45 yards, full auto. I don't know that they make enough cans for that. That's just a whole lot of fun. Whole lot of fun. Well, thanks for tuning in. I'm glad to have had this opportunity to bring you some information on the LCS SK-19. Again, this is a limited edition FX SmoothTwist barrel version. It's a nice shooter in 30 cal. I think if you were wanting a multi-shot, ready for the next shot immediately kind of air gun, maybe to go out on a hog hunt, this is certainly a gun that you could tune up to power levels that would take care of that business. And in smaller calibers, definitely a load of fun as a backyard clinker. But if that's how you're going to shoot it, I'm telling you right now, buy stock in JSB if that's available at all, because you are going to go through the pellets. I would also want to caution you that you want to make sure you are absolutely air independent, because every couple of reloads, you're going to be filling that tank up again. It's a lot of fun to shoot though, and compared to some of the other semi-automatics I've had on the channel, this one just has that little bit of extra refined feel to it. A much nicer, much lighter trigger. And I think I've put, boy, it's been at least 6 tins of pellets through this. And while I have occasionally seen a flyer, I have not had the semi-automatic function go wrong or misfire. I haven't had one jam, one misfire. It has not failed to perform, despite putting lots of lead downrange. So if you're interested in one, again, I would encourage you to check out either the DonnyFL or Pellet Shop websites. I know they are in stock in multiple calibers at the time of this filming, but this is a limited run, and if you wait too long, they may be gone. And I don't know that any additional units are going to be produced. So, you know, it's a case of if you want it, now's the time to take action. I've had a lot of fun with this rifle. It's a little bit different from what I normally shoot, which tends more towards the precision side, but boy, it is fun. Thanks for watching, everybody, and until the next video, shoot safe, shoot straight, and we'll see you around.